Shri Krishna Akhileswaran is the Group Chief Financial Officer of Apollo Hospitals, operating over 70 hospitals and 8,500 pharmacy stores across the country. Mr. Krishnan is a key member of the leadership team of the company. Prior to working at Apollo Hospitals, he has over 25 years of experience in finance in organizations such as Mahindra and Mahindra Limited, Leo Burnett, and ICICI OneSource. Mr. Krishnan has received many awards and recognitions in his workplace as well as renowned industry bodies. More recently, he received the Confederation of Indian Industry Healthcare CFO of the Year Award in 2022. Economic Times Best CFO of the Year Large Enterprise Award in 2023 and the Business World Best CFO of the Year Large Enterprises Award in 2024. We are really honored to have your presence here, sir. May I invite you to offer your felicitations.
Gurubhyo Namaha. Firstly, I think I'm really privileged and honored today to be in this part of this August celebration and of someone who's so pompous and about life and legacy on all around music. I'm really humbled to be here today to share the dais with such great luminaires and ambassadors and propagators of music and Carnatic music. I think it's my privilege to be here, sirs. Firstly, I should say that. And, I've just been, I think all of you have said everything so great about Sri Santhanagopalan ji. I was just, thinking and absorbing all of that as part of a listener. And I realized one thing that, from Shankar, and I gathered from what he said, that for Santhanagopalan ji, clearly music is life. And for Meera ji, she teaches you to live life like music, right? I think both are important. Leading music being his life and living life as music. This is even more difficult. We can probably, take that, but this is even more difficult. So great. I think, that's one of the learnings that I did have. I'm also a learner than anything else. So, as they say, for a great leader, there has to be huge followers. For a great musician, there has to be great rasikas. And then for a great teacher, you need Sishyas. I think you have all the three, sir. You have followers, you have rasikas, and you have Sishyas. So I think your life is accomplished. And I think I'm sure that you're going to be doing much bigger things in life from here on as well in your silver years. So I think I did do a dipstick understanding of what Sri Santhanagopalan ji meant for many people. Because to be honest, I'm a connoisseur of Carnatic music, and I really would like Carnatic music, as you said, to really get into the next levels of getting celebrated, and also like the IPL, in some way or form, because if you look at cricket in a different mode, right, cricket was an art in some way or a skill, whatever you call it, but then you have IPL now, and look where cricket is. I think in some way or some form, I really believe that as musicians, I'm sure there are competing views around this. Everyone may not have the same views, but I still dare to say that if you want to keep the art alive, you need to go the IPL way. You have to figure it out if you have to keep the art alive. Because, I have been part of various sabhas in this season. Half the sabha is empty. Half the sabha is empty. Believe me, and it really pains me as a connoisseur of music. Because for me, though I'm not, as Mr. Guru Murthy sir said, I understand music only to the extent of a rasika. I'm not a Carnatic music understander to that extent. But then I know that if we are not going to be able to take this to the next level, Sir Cleveland's Sundaram sir, etc., have really taken it to this level now. But from now on, if you want the audience to be a different level of audience, and if you want the people below the 35s to be part of your part of your sabhas, you need to do something else. And I think all of us need to aspire towards that, and there is nothing wrong in doing that. And as a CFO, I guess, I should tell you one thing, right? Which is, I always keep saying that money is not the purpose, but the means to fulfill a greater purpose. It is definitely a mean to fulfill a greater purpose. There are so many people who say, you're running a hospital industry and you're making money out of it. See, if I didn't make money out of hospitalization, I wouldn't be doing 70 hospitals and having 8,000 beds today as India. We need to have that to reinvest back into growth. It is not wrong. It's not wrong to do that so long as you're giving back to the society and ensuring that you're building a much bigger and greater India. After all, you need money to fulfill a different cause. So I think your perspective is definitely right. It's not, everyone will not openly encourage you, Shankar, I can tell you that, because our society is such. There are a set of purists who would like the art to remain separate from something else. But I think there's nothing wrong in the thinking, is my view, and it's my personal view. I wouldn't say anything more than that. But I think there are two other perspectives that I would like to say about music, and when you talk about music, today's fast-paced world that we all are, in such a digital world, and all of us are digitally engrossed, I think music is one thing that really helps you pace your life better. If you're really able to do that in a better manner, I think it's going to be fantastic. I think we all need to embrace that. In fact, I've been even telling Shankar when he came to meet me, I said, when we do these sabhas, and I'm just saying again in front of some of these August, I may be wrong. Why can't we have 1 hour music as well? Why should the kacheris go for 2.5 hours? When a 5-day test cricket match has become 50 over matches, and then it's now 20 overs, and in this digital world, when people don't have time, and time is of essence, why can't we have 1 hour, 15-minute kacheris where, I don't want the audience to walk out in half the kacheri. Let them sit through 1.5 hours or 1 hour, 15 minutes and go home happy. Just a perspective, again, I could be wrong. And please, some of these are very difficult, perspectives that I'm giving. I'm just taking the liberty, borrowing from what you have thought for Sishyakulam. Yeah. And that's about it from my side. Music is also one thing that probably brings Apollo and music, is both are about healing. Music is also about healing. And people all over the world today are really understanding the strength of Carnatic music, because Carnatic music, the rhythms and the ragas and the talsas and everything that's there is something that really helps cure and take you to a next level. I think with that I would really thank all of you to have listened to me patiently, and if I have said something wrong, I apologize for the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Krishna Akhileswaran, for this wonderful speech. I had a few things that in mind, just a couple of minutes. First is, his attai is Shri Alamelu, who is the former, of the school which we all went to, so I'm very, very proud about that. The second is, our ippo sonnadu, on the 1 hour 15 minutes, on the time period, எங்க அப்பா தான் எனக்கு சொன்னா, பால்காட் மணியர், the great பால்காட் மணியர், அவர் கடைசி காலத்தில் மிருதங்கத்தை பற்றி கச்சேரியோட அவ்வளோ பார்த்தவர். ஹிஸ் பிளேட் ஃபார் 5 hours 6 hours. கேரளாலாம் அவ்வளோ லாங் கச்சேரிஸ் இன்றைக்கும் நடக்கிறது. அவர் சொன்னது 1 மணி நேரம் போதும் அப்படி முடிச்சு, 1 hour is enough அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி சொன்னார் அவர் கடைசியில். அப்படின்னு என் அப்பா சொல்லியிருக்கா இல்லையா? I've heard that. So it was very futuristic thinking on his part, appoilende, and so happy that to have had all our dignitaries on stage today. Thank you. I really thank you for all your time. Thank you so much. Over to you.
So விவாதத்துக்குரிய நிறைய விஷயங்களை நீங்கள் பேசியிருக்கீங்க. ரேடியோவில் இன்னும் 1 hour கச்சேரி கொடுத்துன்னு இருக்கா. ஸோ 2 நாள் முன்னாடி நெய்வேலி சந்தானகோபாலன் சார்கிட்ட இந்த ப்ரோக்ராம் விஷயமாக நாங்கள் டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணும்போது அவர் ஒரு கருத்தை சொன்னார். பெர்னாட் ஷா சொன்னாராம், 2 மணி நேரம் பேசுகிறோன்னா நான் உடனே பேசுகிறேன், ஆனால் 5 நிமிஷம் தான் பேசுகிறோன்னா எனக்கு டைம் வேணும் அப்படின்ட்டு. ஸோ 5 நிமிஷத்தில் நம்மளோட கருத்துக்களை சொல்லணும்னா we have to give the essence. ஸோ 2 மணி நேரம் 4 மணி நேரம் கச்சேரியெலாம் நடந்திருக்கு. 4 மணி நேரம் மெய் மறந்து போய் ரசிகர்கள் உட்காந்துருக்கா. அந்த காலமும் இருந்திருக்கு. நம்ம கலாராசனால் 4 hour கான்சர்ட்டுன்னே நடந்திருக்கு. அதுக்கு விழுந்தடிச்சுன்னு போய் ரசிகர்கள் போய் உட்காந்து கேட்ட காலமும் உண்டு. ஆனால் நீங்கள் இப்போ சொல்கிற மாதிரி மேபி ஒரே டைமில் 100கணக்கான சபைகள் வழங்குறதுனாலையும் அதுக்கு காரணமாக இருக்கலாம். இன்னொரு பாயிண்ட் நீங்கள் சொன்னது சார், 25 வயசு அதுக்கு கம்மியாக அதுக்கு அரவுண்டுன்னு சொன்னேன். அத்தனை பேரும் இப்போ மேடையில் இருக்கா. ஏன்னா அத்தனை கலைஞர்கள் இப்போ உருவாகின்னு இருக்கா. ஸோ அதை கேட்கறதுக்கான ரசிகர்களை உருவாக்கணும். அந்த ரசிகர்களை உருவாக்குற பொறுப்பும் கலைஞர்களான நம்ம கையில் இருக்குது. ஸோ கிரியேட்ட ரசிகா அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாள். அந்த ரசிகர்களை உருவாக்கும் பெரும் பொறுப்பில் இப்பொழுது இசைக்கலைஞர்கள் இருக்கிறார்கள். ஏன்னா எல்லாரையும் சபைக்கு வரவழைக்கணும். அண்ட் டிஜிட்டைசேஷன் பற்றி சொன்னேன். நிறைய கச்சேரிகள் ஆன்லைனில் வருது. ஸோ இந்த மெட்ரோ ஒர்க் நடக்கிற இந்த தருணத்தில் நம்ம தாண்டி குதிச்சுண்டு சபைக்கு போகணுமா, கிடைக்கிற கச்சேரியை ஆற்றுல உட்காந்து ரசிக்கலாமே அப்படின்னு கேட்குற ரசிகர்களும் நிறையா இருக்கா. ஸோ சிந்திக்கிறதுக்கு நிறையா பாயிண்ட்ஸ் கொடுத்துருக்கேன். ஹோப் வில் ஆல் கோ இன் தட் டிரெக்ஷன், த ரைட் டைரெக்ஷன்.